Welcome back to the Sisterish Show. This is a very, very special episode for Athina and I. I have my weave back in, so that's always great.
No more rat energy.
No rat and no like little chickadee with like 2 hairs that was born yesterday.
So you guys, it is currently July, like the last week of July, and this September, so in like a month, is gonna come up on our 1-year anniversary of the show,
the podcast.
And honestly, it went by so fast. And even when I was looking at like our show over the past year, I was like, I didn't even believe that it was September. Like everything literally just happened so fast. But we're going to Greece. She's leaving in like a few days. I'm leaving in a week. And I cannot believe it. And we are going to be going on a little hiatus. Like we're going to be going dark for the month of August and then coming back in September. We're still going to be posting on our socials and keeping you guys in tune of like what's going on. But we're just going to be taking a little work break just to recharge and refuel ourselves and come back feeling extra creative and extra passionate about everything. And we're just so grateful. I really am. Like, I think we've learned a lot and we've created a lot, and I can't wait to pour back into the next round of episodes. But I really can say that I'm so happy with what we've created and what we've done, and I'm really grateful that this platform, like, we kept consistency with it, and we, you know, I feel like we learned a lot. So
yeah, I feel like so many people, and I talk to a lot of my business clients with this and coaching, is like, you know, you give, like, how many people we know in real life, not in real life, they're like, I'm a podcaster now. I like see it in their bio, and then like they do like 4 episodes and then it's like it just disappears. And I'm just really proud of us for staying the course, staying consistent. And really, this is such a passion project for the both of us, and we're here for the long haul and the community long term. And so I'm just grateful for you, and I'm grateful for you guys that are listening every week and like the messages that we get from you. And obviously we're no like super niche focused podcast. This is just literally sit on the couch with your sisters and let's like talk about everything from like everything to everything. And so I'm just really proud of us. And, you know, I think about too, like the little kind of time capsule that this has become for us, and thinking through to last year where I was at and all the growth from like season 1. And not that this isn't going to be season 3 when we come back to you guys. We're just taking August off for our mental health and our everything. But there's so much, all I think of is growth. Yeah. You know, whether it's like learning how to edit these videos, learning what kind of mics we want, learning about the lighting, what works, what's not working. And I'm just really proud of us, and I'm excited to see where this goes in the future. I know we definitely have on the radar that we want to plan like a South Florida meetup in the future, maybe like a retreat, a 2 to 3 day retreat where we have the dryer sing to us on episodes. No, where we like do some yoni steaming on the vajayjay. I'm like obsessed. I have to try it.
No, I think we should do it.
And yeah, so let's let that keep singing for a second. I'm gonna stop talking. Okay. So yeah, no, I'm really proud of it. And I, you know, obviously I always say something that you would do for free is what you should let your creative side of your brain and the inner child in you do. And, you know,
I think, like you said, growth is an amazing word to describe. Even me looking back at our episodes from almost a year ago, I'm like, it's insane. Funny. But, you know, one thing I said, which I don't know if I've said it on the show when we first started, was when we were having conversations about it, was like, I know for a fact in 3 years, we're going to look back at these episodes and be like, what a joke.
You
like
said
they
that
were
from
insane.
day one.
I said that from day one. But I said, like, the fear of things not being good or perfect, if that stops you, then you're wasting your time. Like, you need to start things knowing that they're not going to be perfect, and knowing that you're going to look back and be like, what was I thinking? What was I doing? But the fact that you started, the fact that
you kept going,
we started, like, that's what makes me believe in it, because I know that, you know, we did it even when our mic sucked, and
my
editing
mic
sucked.
died in the middle of an
Wi-Fi was
episode.
terrible. Like all these things, it just adds to the experience and us learning. So if there is something in your life as a listener that you're like, I don't know if I should start it because you're a perfectionist and you know it's not going to be perfect when you start, that's something that your brain is lying to you about. Like you need to just start things and do things even though they're not going to be perfect, because you learn every day. I think every episode, every minute of our show and what we've talked about, what we've discussed, like we're learning constantly and growing and shifting things, changing things, and we haven't perfected it. And I'm sure this episode we're going to look back on and be like, what were we thinking? But that's part of, like you said, the time capsule. Yeah. And why I feel so passionately about podcasting. And I think it's just such a great platform and way that, again, even if no one was listening, like it's for us. So with all that being said, we do want to talk about the fact that we are going on a legendary trip, T-minus 4 days for this one and like a week for me. And I just like really, when we finalized that we were going on this trip, I said to you, like, we definitely need to talk about this because it's such a huge monumental moment, and it really is like super full circle for us. So the last time we were in Greece together, which obviously we're Greek, so it's a huge part of who we are and our heritage. And I think that when you are from a certain country or a certain place, obviously it's nowhere is perfect, but when you're there, you feel connected to who you are. And I don't know, like you either get it or you don't, but when I'm in Greece, like I feel like my true self. I feel so connected to the air I'm breathing, the water, the food, like just the whole culture, that it's such a monumental part of who I am and something I also want to share with like the people I love. So the last time we were there, I was 4 turning 5 and you were like 2008, 19. So you were my age the last time basically you were there, which is freaking insane because now I'm going to be 21, turning 21 when I'm there, and you are 36. So it is like a complete full circle moment, and it's the first time you've been going back since then. So it's a lot of firsts and it's a lot of new experiences, and this is something we've been looking forward to for months now, and I honestly can't believe like it's happening.
No, I know. And for me, I know that I talk about this a lot on my platform and just us privately, but I'm in this new season of my life where, you know, Lukey just had the baby of the family is 6.
Yeah.
Like, what? And so as a mom, and because I did start my family very young, it's this new era of me. And, you know, I'm just like totally having clearly travel anxiety leading up to leaving the children. I'm going through all these scenarios. I'm thinking about the will. I'm thinking about, you know, the government closing the borders and we can't get back in, and, you know, apocalypse and all that stuff. But, you know, I'm just super grateful. And I think that it's going to be one of those trips, like I send you like the TikToks, but it's going to be one of those trips that one, I believe we're going to travel. It's going to become like an annual thing that like, even when you have kids and whatever, like we always go away as couples. I think that that's really special and cool. But also I feel like it's going to be one of those trips that like we are talking to your kids about, my kids about like 30 years from now. Because also too, the last time I went, obviously we were in such different places and there's so many things that's happened in between there. But like, Sean wifed me up the second I got home because he's like, you're not leaving me again like that. Like, and we got engaged, and then I became a mom. And so it's just really special. It's really special to like share the first of like Joey and Sean in Greece and, you know, having them breathe the air, because I've always said to Sean, and it never worked out for us to be able to go. I've always said to him, half of my heart is in Rhodes, Greece. And the fact that you are my best friend and you don't know that part of my heart feels almost like imposter syndrome. Like he doesn't get it. And now he'll be able to get it. Yeah.
I totally agree. And I totally get it. And I think anyone I know that's either like, obviously we weren't born there, but I feel like we grew up pretty involved with like our Greek side of our family. Yeah. So like we were never ashamed to be Greek. Like we were always taught to be very proud of that. And so I think that that's part of it and why we feel so connected to just the culture when we're there. And so it is such a huge part of our, you know, our identity and who we are. And so I think that being able to show someone you love, that's literally your partner, like your soulmate in life, to be able to see that part of you and see why you are the way you are and experience just the life of like where you came from is so unique and something that I think you have to experience to get to know someone fully. And so I think it's really cool, and I'm so excited that our men are going to experience it together, because I just like, I've said to you and I've said to Joey too, I'm more excited for them to experience it than even for me. Like I went a few years and it was great and it's so fun, but like more excited than I am to see it myself again is for them to see it and for them to experience it and to see their faces when we go to the beaches and experience the food and the culture and be embedded in that. Like I just think it's so cool. And I don't know. I really think that if you are super connected to your roots and like where you came from, I think it's like, if you have the ability and opportunity to share that with the person you love, do it. You know? Yeah,
definitely. What are you most excited about? Is just watching it through their eyes? Like, the food, I'm just like, I'm salivating thinking about that.
I think just the overall, like, for me, one thing I've learned the past few times that I've gone of the overall, like, culture just in Europe in general is they really know how to enjoy their life and slow down. And I think that here... I think definitely since moving to Miami, like I've learned and taught myself to slow down a little bit from coming from like Jersey, New York area where everything is 24/7 hustle. So I think that I've learned to slow down, but I think going to Europe is, a whole other level of slowing down, enjoying things. Like it's so important. And maybe that lifestyle isn't for everyone 24/7, but like being able to take time to I keep saying recharge, because that's what I think of, like being able to pour into yourself when you work so hard is so important. And that's, I think, what I'm most excited to experience is just to literally bring my heart rate and bring my nervous system down to here and feel refueled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But how do you feel?
I am really excited to...
Did you hear my hip crack?
I did. I'm really excited about like connecting with Sean there. Yeah. I'm really excited because we've been through it the last little bit here.
Well, why don't you share the like, well, I guess you did bring up too, like the last time you were there, you guys weren't together.
No.
So
we were. We were dating.
Oh, and then he broke up with you while you were there.
The time before that.
Oh, the time before that. Okay. So that's insane to me. And like now you're going
like with 4 kids.
With 4 kids, married for
14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Cuz it's a completely different person. Like we've even talked about the condo that our family has, like literally being a time capsule, like walking into there and seeing all the stuff that you saw when you were literally my age, and now
it's going to be so much nostalgia is happening because I helped Iya set up the apartment when I was like 15. So like every nail there I literally put in the wall with like our cousins out there. So it's like that is going to, oh my gosh, it's going to be so weird. It really is. And like you said, the smells.
How do you feel like as a couple, are you excited to like just bond with him like without the kids? I know. Yeah. Just to be able to like recharge together as a couple without having people around you.
Like me, putting my Escalade in another area because I never leave my house. It's like I work from home, I homeschool. I'm constantly like family oriented, and Sean and I love our life. And we talked about this about when we went to Aruba, like we literally get in the car with the kids and everyone's like, we just love where we live. We love our life. We don't need a vacation from our life. But more so that I don't need, we want to take the boys to Disney in the fall. And like, of course, those are like core memories that you do with your family, but we live in such a beautiful place that my boy's backyard is literally like a wallpaper that people put on the back of their Zoom call. Like, remember Dad when he would go?
Yeah.
And like, so we have to collect memories and experiences differently. And so like for Sean and I, though, being able to connect, you know, all of my 20s barefoot and pregnant, then with the move, Sean and I haven't had a vacation since we moved to the Keys, which is fine. Yeah. We live in a vacation spot and love our life, but I'm just like, to go out of mom mode and get out of my masculine and get in my feminine and let him handle everything and turn my brain will be turned off the second I get into the car and leave the kids.
And I think it's less about the location of like, oh, we live in a nice place, so like we don't need to leave. It's more about taking a break from your normal routine to allow yourself to come back and feel refueled. Yeah. And so I think that that's going to be really amazing for you guys. Obviously, I think it's hard, and I think you should speak to the fact of being a mom. I feel like a lot of moms probably feel guilty about that, and I'm sure that I know you had those like feelings in the back, like, oh yeah, so fun, but like, oh wait, like the kid situation. So I think it's like really cool, and I respect a lot that like you're able to understand that like in order to be the best mom you can be, it's okay to allow yourself to have 2 weeks for you and Sean and for yourself.
Yeah, and there's of course mom guilt. Yeah. We were talking about it last night. I literally cried on this white couch to her about it. And you know, I saved this audio from Instagram Reels, and it's like there's this study that the happiest and most content, the most, I don't know if it was content or successful children, they did studies, like scientific studies and polls, and the statistics were people automatically like, oh, a father in the home, or like, you know, the things that you hear often said, and it's directly correlated to their mother's happiness. And I was like, whoa, dude, because it's so true. And then they start to like explain it, like you could literally be in the projects, and if you are content mom and happy and nervous system is not engaged, and like, I was just like, wow, that's so true. When I think through that, you know, obviously I'm going to Europe for 2 weeks with my husband, and then my best friend, my sister's coming with her amazing boyfriend that I love and call my Asian brother, and like, oh, first world problems to have. But I am running through, you know, guilt and feeling like I know there'll be a troll that's like, how dare you leave your children, like whatever. But I think through to what the benefits are going to be of this. And I'm sure when we come back on the white couch, I'm going to be like telling everyone and their brother that they need to go away with their spouse at least once a year. I talked to someone that was like, no, like me and my husband prioritize this once a year. From the minute we had children, we went away once a year together. So I'm like, you know, I can see that it's so important. It's so freaking important, because you get so caught up in that daily grind and that daily monotony of like the same thing. Right. And so like you're saying, like taking ourselves out of it. Right. 2022 was like our year of travel. Like I literally was traveling for work. We went everywhere. California, Vegas, a cabin, Utah. Like Sean and I kept leaving the kids, leaving for work. And so this is like the first not work related, like
leisure vacation,
you know, no kids. And like, I always preach this to people, but at the end of the day, the reason why you can have a successful marriage is you have to work at that relationship. And are you going to be okay with when all my kids are out of my house, it just being me and Sean? And so being able to like giggle and do things that I wouldn't do if my kids were there, and
genuinely enjoy each other's company. I think it's and as someone that doesn't have kids yet, that is a huge deal what you just said, because I think that the number one mistake people make when choosing a life partner is that this is a life partner. This is the person that you're going to be with literally through every best moment of your life and every worst moment of your life. And like, if it's not someone you can enjoy going on a trip with, or enjoy,
so many couples,
like, you know, those couples that
they don't even know what to do alone with each other.
Yes, like, you know, those couples that are like, oh, like I need like time away, and I'm like, like, no. And I get it, like everyone has different annoyances and things that bother them, but I think it's such a good bonding experience. And even if, you know, you guys, we're not saying like go book a $15,000 vacation to freaking like the Maldives. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that I think having time to take a pause from your routine, even if it's just for 1 week, and reconnect, recharge with people that you love and trust around you is so, so, so important. And I think it gives you and frames you a new perspective to come back and work your ass off and give your life
make
the
a
best
lot
you
more
can.
money because of this trip. Like, I already know it, but it's also the matter of fact of like, you and Sean this morning, like, turn it the fuck off when we get there.
Yeah.
That's going to be a process at first. But then once it's off, I might have a hard time putting it back on. I don't know. But also to like appreciating my kids and them appreciating me and Sean and just all the goodness that's going to come out of that. I mean, honestly, I don't remember the last time we went on a leisure trip like this. Probably like, I don't even remember. And then also another wild thought for you is all our family vacations, we never just went away, just the 6 of us. I always had extended family, like a friend there. And so it's like, this is just going to be so good all around. And I'm so excited. Obviously follow along on my Instagram, Real Raising Cubs, and then Athina's page. I'm not going to probably be posting on Sisterish that much at all, but I'm just like, it's surreal. I know you talked about having like imposter syndrome around it. Like,
well, I have issues because I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like something's gonna, like, it feels so rewarding to like have your hard work pay off, or feel like, okay, I have something to look forward to. And like, we're all going. Like, my sister, we haven't been there together since I was literally 5. And so I literally, in my brain, was like, oh my gosh, it's like too good to be true.
like
something's gonna happen
right now.
And she was like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, no, I know. Like, I need to stop. But it's normal, and we're humans. And I think, I don't know, maybe someone's listening to this and they're like, you guys sound so dumb because you're literally going away on vacation. You're just bitching and moaning. But I think that like there's a lot of guilt, and like as a mom, as a wife, as a business owner, you feel maybe guilt towards certain other areas in your life that you're leaving. And it's hard. And I think we're just trying to like have an open conversation about the reality of it, and also hopefully motivate people and encourage people that like it's okay to take time for yourself if you're able to, and it doesn't have to look the same as us. But whatever it is as a person that you need to refuel yourself and recharge, like do it.
Yeah.
Do it, and like you're not going to regret it. Like no one ever takes that time and then is like, oh, I wish I didn't.
Also,
you know?
the example that it sets for my sons, that they are going to see like my mom and dad are like love each other and wanted to go away and spend time together, because I think that's also important, and not a lot of people are talking about that. Is not just date nights, but really prioritizing that your kids see that my parents are in love and they are best friends, and they took the trips, and you know, I can't possibly fathom that my boys won't want to also take the trips, and please give me the grandbabies, but you know? Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited. I'm more stressed than excited, but I'm going to allow myself to get excited when we're finally like on the way to the airport, and it's a full on travel situation. Like it's a lot. And so I'm also glad that I even had the wherewithal, because at first we were going to try to bring the boys. That would have been a whole situation. Yeah. But being able to experience it, like also you have always had me in the mother energy. Obviously, when I come here and sleep on your couch and we have like our slow girl mornings, you get me just to be your sister. No, I know. But I also didn't even think of that. That's important. Like you're gonna get to be with not mom Jackie. Yeah. And like dad Sean.
You're so right. I think I didn't even think of that, honestly. But that is so true. Like to be able to experience it as like just sisters couples and and that is, I didn't even think of that, but that is so true. And I think that's going to be amazing and honestly so good for our relationship. Yeah, all four of us.
It could never get any better, you'd think, but apparently we're going to get even closer. I think it
can. No, I am just like so excited to experience this. And I think here's like, even us like moving here, and we said this when we came, like making new traditions and creating new patterns and creating new things for your family, our future family. Like it's so important. And
I don't know, I'm just pinch myself even when you guys get in the car after like Luke's birthday celebration. Like
I know
it's still surreal to me.
It is.
Like I'm so thankful.
I know. And I said too, like when I moved here, I looked over and I told Joey, I was like, please, like, never let me forget how good we have it. Like, never let me forget how grateful I should always be, and like how, I hate the word lucky because it's like such a
bullshit word.
It's just like, but like how lucky I am. Like, I never want to forget that feeling. I never want to like sit back and be like, oh,
take
like,
it for granted.
Exactly. And so, and that applies to everything. And I think it's so important to constantly be like checking ourselves.
And when we have an energy of gratitude and you put that out, I feel like
more comes to
you.
No,
and
100%.
You know, I'm not one of those like philosophical whatever people, but like I do know that the more I put out love and I put out, you know,
I mean, we started the season with that. Like, we started the season with, we moved here, and how did that happen? I believe it was the power of our words and the power of our thoughts. Like, you can think I'm crazy for thinking that, but at the end of the day, I experienced it in real life. And I know for a fact that without the way we were thinking, without the way we were speaking, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. And so you can apply that to any area of your life, and having a attitude of like abundance and gratefulness all the time, that's what keeps you humble, and that's what keeps you appreciative and wanting more, not in a prideful way, but in a healthy way. So I think that's how I feel, and I'm just so excited to experience this with you, and I'm excited and so grateful for this platform that we can sit here and talk about it. And you know, it makes me very joyful and happy.
And if you're a mom listening to this and you're in the trenches of like breastfeeding, sleepless nights, I just want to tell you that not that you should want it to pass soon or fast, but you will miss that time of your life, but you will have your moment to reinvent yourself as your kids are getting older and as they don't need you as much. And, you know, the whole goal is to make them independent. And so, yes, I look at Yanni, who will be 14 in November, and I'm like, how the F did that happen? But it's also such a sweet spot that like every turn of motherhood and parenting and just all of it. And so, you know, prioritizing this trip and doing it, even though it's uncomfy for me to like leave the country when our world is shit, but it's been shit for a while. And, you know, this is pushing me out of my comfort zone.
It definitely is.
And I know, again,
which we're all
first
about.
World problems. Oh, she's going to Greece with her husband for 2 weeks. But like, no, it's pushing me out of my comfort zone. It's making me more appreciative, and like I'm grateful for my mom coming out and watching the kids, and I'm thankful that my boys are older now, and you know, I'm just really excited to like go adventure with you guys.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing that, I mean, obviously we've like built this platform on literally us being 16 years apart and being closer than we were even when I was younger. Like, if there's one thing I feel like we always end up concluding our thoughts with is like, every era only gets better. And like, when you're in a certain era, like you think it's the best and you're like, oh my gosh, it's only gonna like it can't get better than this, and then it does. And so there's gonna come a time when your boys are older and they come and on vacation with us. Like, so I think that's what I want to highlight is things just keep getting better and better. And
so many women 36 years old wouldn't want to admit that they're 36. First of all, I can't stand those women. And then it's like they look at all these different moments, like turning 40, turning 50, 60, whatever, or I'm a grandma now, and it's almost like doom and gloom. And I'm like, when I sit you will see I am a shell in the best way of who I was 6 months ago. And so looking forward to the future, you know, being an auntie, like you guys getting married and the future trips we're going to take. And
I'm already planning like your themed 40th birthday.
Literally.
I'm like, what should I have everyone come dressed up in?
Aging backwards and just really enjoying life. And it doesn't mean that it has to be a $20,000 European trip by yourself, which is great. But even if it's just like sister sleepovers, you know, this morning I'm on the air mattress and then I crawl in bed with my little sister, and being in my feminine with you and being able to just be a sister. Because even these little like 24-hour, 36-hour trips that I take up here to work with you and like do our thing, it recharges me. Like,
Yeah.
you're my CC. Like, I need it. And then I go home and I'm a better mom, a better wife. And of course you keep me fresh always. So like laser, hair, like all the things. But, you know, moms out there, like who recharges you, pay attention to how you feel when you leave the in-laws or the bestie's house. If you feel drained, like,
Yeah.
set the boundaries and do more of what leaves you recharged, especially in our businesses. Like, we're like therapists.
Pouring
And
into people.
pouring, and then come home, Jack, and pour into your husband, into your 4 kids. It's like, prioritize the same way you would fill your calendar for work. Fill in rest, fill in things that make you feel better, whether it's sauna time, nervous system, listening to a podcast, sleeping at your sister's house. Even though I'm 36, I'm having a sleepover. And do it. Like, do it. And who gives a shit? Who cares? Like, I'm leaving my sons for 2 weeks. I'm freaking out right now, but I guarantee, again, I'll be sitting on this couch a month from now, like, guys. You know, do it. And if jumping out of an airplane last year this time taught me anything, it's like, you're never too old to restart, reset.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And every successful person that I'm like, okay, that is like, I want to work towards that. They do this. They leave the children. They take a break. They go on the vacation. They prioritize all that. And so I don't know anyone that can, like you said, be in that masculine hustle 24/7. That's what led me to like cortisol, nervous system, 50 pounds overweight, and like less money in the bank.
Yeah.
So, no,
it's so true. And just overall, taking the time to pour it back into yourself, like you said, allows you to give into all those buckets so much more when you come back. So yeah, I'm so grateful, and I am just appreciative of every single one of you guys that listen. Like, I know you get messages from people. I do too. I have some clients that like look up my podcast, and I'm just so grateful for everyone that
we see
takes
you.
the time.
Thank you.
We really are so thankful. And literally, even, I know it's like the corniest thing ever, but like, even if one person feels like heard or seen, great. Like, that's the goal. So I'm just really happy and thankful. The past, when did we start? March, I think we started recording, and it's now July. So it's been almost 4 months. Like, I think we've created some really awesome content, and I just can't wait to make more, honestly. And I think everything will only get better. So I'm just excited to create and feel inspired. And that's all I have to say. But you know, we'll be back soon. Like Jackie said, follow us on everything if you want to be nosy and keep an eye on all the adventures we're going to be doing. But we have a lot planned and a lot that we want to give to you guys, and just stay tuned because it'll only get better. So
and we want you to feel like you're our sisters, and that you can sit with us on this white couch. And you know, the things that there's so much dysfunction in our world, and so much dysfunction within families, and healing generational traumas, and really, like, there's people out there that don't have the best relationships with their sisters, and we just want you to know that we're here for you. And you know, the tide, you know, rises, and we are not those women that gatekeep, and we just plan on continuing to grow with you and share everything. And I'm just really excited, and also very grateful. And you know, it's our therapy sesh together.
It is.
You guys,
we're glad you guys are here for it.
So that's everything, and we will see you guys,
in like maybe a month and a half ish. Sister-ish, a month and a half ish.
So stay tuned.
We love you all so much, and we'll see you soon.